My name is BenFlyingRetro, and I'm embarking on a quest to purchase every classic GI Joe comic from the original 80s and 90s Marvel run.
Warning.
Hunting down individual issues from every corner of the globe in whatever order the universe decides to give me. Join me and my pal Steve every week as we discuss my latest find. Welcome to Chasing Joe. Chasing Joe. Welcome to episode 70 of Chasing Joe. I am your drowned rat host. I have just been for a 4-mile run in, a rainstorm. I didn't have time to have a shower. I'm soaked through, but the dedication, I just came straight into the studio to talk to my man from Cape Town. There he is. It's S-Jubs.
Thanks, brother. Well, it's certainly not raining here. I feel like we're in a drought.
Oh,
dam levels must be getting down to like day 0 here.
Look at that contrast. 2 worlds.
Totes.
No, honestly. Dude, look at me. But I actually quite like running in the rain. It makes you feel alive. It keeps you kind of like engaged.
Running in sweltering dry heat is miserable.
Yeah, it is. It's
day,
not.
But
it's not much fun.
Do you have any kind of eyewear?
No.
I don't like getting driving rain into my eyeballs.
Do you not? Oh, I find that I have eyebrows and lashes, and they kind of
catch it. Your windscreen wipers.
I don't know. Emma says that I have got big eyebrows, and she's like, "You're lucky to have those." And she's like, "You should, just do a little bit of a trim." She's like, "Can I trim them?" I'm like, "Whoa, what's going on?" Have you ever thought about your eyebrows in the acting game?
Dude, my eyebrows would stick out drastically if I didn't give them a little bit of a
little bit of love. We are modern men, but let's read something that is not modern, because I got a book here, a special book, all the way from the US of A. So this was when I went to Miami, and I bought a load of books off eBay USA. What do you think?
I delivered to your hotel room.
I did.
Wonderful.
Concierge, Mr. Martin. Right, here we go. What do you think I was in the market for in the US? Do you think I was buying somewhat special books?
I think there's a high likelihood, Benjamin.
Whoa.
Just run-of-the-mill books.
Okay, what do we got here? United States Postal Service. I'm just going to do a reveal. Oh my goodness! It's issue 21, December 6th, 1983. Silent Interlude. One of the books I was most excited about getting, but also nervous because of the dollar value of this book. On the back, on pencil, it says, I just want to hide the price. It says first edition, but that doesn't look like a first edition to me.
That would be, I mean, I'm no expert, but if it's got a regular webbed Spider-Man head, it is a first reprint.
Okay, I think the rare one is...
It's a mail order first edition. Whereas a symbiote black Spider-Man face, like the one I'm going to show now, would make it the second.
One of them is rare, like the second or the third is the rarest and most expensive.
There's so much mythology surrounding issue 21. We're going to barely scratch the surface of it on this episode. But
well,
what a landmark episode you've just lucked yourself into, dear listener.
I have, but just hold yourself back, because S-Jubs, you are crusty bread, S-Jubs, and I am going to dunk you in the pop cultural soup of December 1983. I am becoming Alan Partridge at this rate. Let's find out, when you were reading a seismic issue like this, was there anything seismic and culturally significant at the cinema? There was. Scarface. Now, I certainly didn't see Scarface until a lot later, when uni students had that poster in their rooms. And I fell in love with that film. I still love it. My son Phoenix has recently watched it and is obsessed with it. Any memories of Scarface? It's not science fiction. It's not in your wheelhouse. But
Well, if you haven't seen the last 20
you
minutes
like
of
acting.
Scarface, I don't know. I mean, of course, I've seen the quintessential moments. I don't think I've actually sat through the entire thing. I feel like it has
do
been
it for
so...
the soundtrack.
Well, okay, fine. I will do it for the soundtrack, Ben. But my point is that film has been so aped by everyone.
Yes.
I feel like I've seen it many times without seeing Scarface itself.
Well, I think I played GTA Vice City before I'd seen Scarface. And it was like I was watching a video game when I finally watched I was like, oh, this is GTA Vice City, which is a video game I love.
American Hustle, the Christian Bale. Yeah, okay. That I saw, and then that kind of gave me big Scarface vibes.
I don't like that
watching
film.
Breaking Bad. I mean, there's certain sequences on Breaking Bad where you're like, yeah, totally. And then while I haven't seen it, but Narcos.
I enjoy the synthscape score of Scarface. But moving on, the Hot 100, number 1 was All Night Long by Lionel Richie, who now in this country does crisp adverts and changes the words to his lyrics. So I don't know if he's struggling to pay the mortgage or what's going on with Lionel.
The problem with buying mansions is you got to keep making that mansion money.
You do. And the Spotify streams just ain't cutting it for the Ritchie family. But what other comics were on the spinner rack when this was out? I mean, arguably you don't need another comic in your life if you're reading this, but you could have picked up Uncanny X-Men 179, the Morlocks have captured Kitty Pryde, one of my favourite characters, and are now preparing her for a forced marriage to Caliban. I don't really know what that means, but hey, Kitty Pryde is a cool character.
Big dude. But one of your favourite characters? What, Ben?
Well, when I say that, I just like her trading cards. But hang on, I'm just reaching. I've got a shelf full of action figures, and I can't stop buying these. This is my latest. So now I have Jubilee, Cyclops, and now I have the name's Gambit. Remember it. Now I have him in his kind of cool mode where he's just got that Ace of Hearts and he's just charging it. But there's another feature where he's like, spraying like 5 cards out. Look at the tech that they're getting on the face sculpts is crazy now, isn't it? Because that just is the cartoon come to life in plastic form. I was explaining to Chief why I like these and why I like these on display in the house more than something like Star Wars Black Series, is because they are so bright and colourful. They're just so bold. Black Series quite dank and dark. They just pop wherever you put these. Like, I'm absolutely loving it. And I was out of action figures, but I just think these are so cool. Look at that.
Cool IP, cool action figures.
Yeah.
Match made in heaven, really.
Look, and kind of the best, highly posable, like wildly posable, but also just very fun to play with because of that, because they're so posable. It's not like they're statues, even though they literally look like that. So,
you asked me what I was looking forward to, Ben, cinematically, and I kind of defaulted to Doomsday just to see how it all comes together. See how the X-Men work into the MCU.
So what are they doing right now?
Above that, I'm excited about X-Men 97 Season 2.
Yes, way more! What, has it been announced? Is it launching when? What's happening?
It got greenlit when Season 1 was doing its numbers.
Okay, I know, but it's not this year, is it? There's no way it's this year.
Could be.
I think we'll probably get the Spider-Man one before we get Season 2.
Bodemayer had completed work on Season 2 before his firing.
Wow.
So it should have
Theirs.
been in the pipeline ASAP.
What are they doing with that Avengers? They're literally dropping a teaser trailer every week of a character that will return.
You gotta build it back up, eh?
You got to do something. I don't
Try and
think.
fight off the fatigue. Like,
Yeah,
hey,
well.
do you remember this? You guys like this, right?
Well, look, speaking of fatigue, you won't believe this, but I researched video games in December 1983 and I got this. The video game industry was experiencing a major recession known as the video game crash of 1983. Atari was deeply impacted and facing significant financial difficulties. The boom and bust. It's hard to believe that video games could have kind of like peaked and almost disappeared. But they really came close with all of those sort of bad Atari games that were barely functioning games, made in a few days. But yeah, so that was my video game research. Toys in 1983 Christmas. He-Man, Fisto, Buzz-Off, Orko, Man-at-Arms, Man-E-Faces, and Roboto. Now, I imprinted hard on Roboto. Do you know that figure? He's cogs, he's see-through, he's a little bit later than 1983. But I just wanted to tell the listeners, viewers, that before G.I. Joe, I was very much He-Man. He-Man is probably my first toy memories, I would say. Having the figures, loving them, loving the cartoon, kind of confused by the lore and the mythology of it, but squeeze it. I have memories of being very young and just squeezing their squeezy heads because they were like hard plastic, and then they just like and I used to have a He-Man lunchbox that I took to first school, and that Roboto figure, the way the cogs moved and you could see inside, I loved that guy, and he had a mouthpiece. Fisto is an interesting
weapon
one.
Arms.
Just a big fist. But did you have a phase? I take it you didn't. I mean, there's no way you had a He-Man phase.
I had a He-Man phase. It was more of an inherited phase, but I absolutely latched onto all of my brother's discarded figures as he kind of outgrew them. And He-Man played big time. Yeah.
Now I've got a couple in the cabinet. They don't pose or play very well. They were more kind of grab and just smash into each other. They share more with a sort of doll than an action figure almost. Because they don't stand up very well.
Might fight you on that. But
they don't stand up.
Look, the kind of the juice that you get from their lower articulation, like because it's a piece of rubber that is bonding their legs together. You don't have a kind of a firm sticking point standing them up, and also they're massively top heavy.
Oh my god, they are the upside down triangle. That's the physique that all the gym nutters want. They are so big up top, and they are so dainty with their little legs, and they've got tiny feet, and they are really difficult to stand up. I've got like blue tack on mine in the cabinet.
I think also because they tend to drift, because there's that rubber. There's a bit of juice in there, and I maintain if you fix them in a position, they're going to move. They're going to start splaying over time.
Skeletor is a great character and a great figure, but we've spoken about it before, but I love that Battle Armor He-Man and the Battle Armor Skeletor. When I got those, a great day. The noise, the click, it's in me. Love it. Anyway, let's get to this book. Think long, think hard. I want it in USD. You know this is a spicy meatball. I spent a long time waiting to pull the trigger. It's not hard to find. It's what you're willing to pay with a book like this. Here we go. What do you think?
Damn you, Benjamin. Well,
this is tough for you. This is tough.
I've never looked at prices. This is not my area of expertise at all. But for it to be not a price tag that you would absolutely laugh off and walk away, I'm gonna say it's in and around $100.
You'd be bang right to think that. And that's what I thought eventually I was going to have to part with $100. And it kind of is $100 in a lot of places. It can be a lot more if it's, minty or graded. But I don't know how I got it for this. I did $40 I got this book for. I can't remember if that was an offer or a bid or he spelt it wrong or I don't know what. So £28. So at episode 70, that's taken my total up to £306 or $413. I'm over the 400 mark. But look, come on, $40 for this.
At
a
$40,
piece of history.
You spent more on far lesser.
I spent more on coffee this week. I mean, come on. Now, I've got a little set up before we talk about this book. So, the description as originally solicited by Marvel Comics for this issue. No hype, no hard sell. GI Joe issue 21 will be the most unusual war comic ever published. But that's not because it chronicles Snake Eyes on a solo mission, not because the danger is a toy that could wipe out the world. It's not because Larry Hama both penciled and wrote this once-in-a-lifetime issue either. You must buy it to find out. Well, S-Jubs, I did buy it to find out. So let's find out together. Let's open it up. I have not opened this book to check condition or anything. We are going to be kind of doing this together in real time. Now, I know the different versions include different adverts as well. Mm-hmm. So there you go. I would say it's in good condition. It's not minty, but it's good. What I need to know your relationship with this book. Do you own the floppy of this book yet? Has it knocked on your door and said, "Hey, S-Jubs, I'm in issue 21 of ARA"?
Not even remotely, Ben. This is a book that I would have to seek out. It's not something that I will just happen upon on my travels. Everybody knows what issue 21 of GI Joe is. Everyone. Whether they're into comics or not. Whether they're into GI Joe or not. This issue made ripples. Made ripples,
yes, you're right. In the wider scene of comic books because of the nature of it, yeah? It actually had like crossover appeal, probably.
I've heard it said before that while the GI Joe run of 155 issues is not celebrated in comic book circles, us Joe fans think it should be, of course. Issue 21 of GI Joe is celebrated. Yeah, anyone who's into comic books, they haven't necessarily read all of GI Joe, and they wouldn't. But issue 21, it's kind of like one of those landmark issues of the comic book medium.
I think every month
have to read or have some awareness of.
Yeah, every release schedule of every month, I think you're always going to be looking at like what your peers are doing, what other companies are doing, and everyone would have been talking about this book in the industry that month because of the nature of it. So that is interesting. Shall we just treat this like any other ARA book, though, and simply start with the cover? And it actually is one of the best covers. Snake Eyes V1 has never, ever looked as good as that, I don't think. Because Snake Eyes version 1 is not my Snake Eyes. My kind of iconic Snake Eyes would be version 2. And I think sometimes when I think about this issue, I forget that it's early in the run, so ridiculously early in the run. And we have got a good old-fashioned V1 Snake Eyes, and he looks a lot better there than his figure does, man. He looks sick with those goggles. He
goggles,
actually
the
looks a bit... What other version does he look like? I don't know. He looks modern for issue 21, man.
Well, the classic version 1 figure is a plain Jane affair. Like, the sculpting detail wasn't up to snuff at that point.
There's not enough going
When you
on
say it
with
looks
his
like a modern
chest.
Snake Eyes,
Yeah.
this artwork gives him web gear, gives him magazines, gives him a knife. His holster's kind of hanging off him. He's got pouches on his biceps. He's got some kind of doohickeys on his wrists. This is a Klaus Janson and Ed Hannigan. Oh, sorry, what am I saying? Ed Hannigan, Klaus Janson cover. Just in case you're harboring suspicions that this might be a Larry Hama. Maybe he thumbnailed it for them. But yeah, this is this different art team. So the interiors.
They've
it's beautiful, man.
It is. It's quite busy on him. There's a lot of high detail, a lot of stuff hanging off of him. I love the abseiling nature of it. Like, without that, that is why it's so cool. The fact that he's on a rope and it's all kind of tasseled and flowing, very kinetic, and the colorist on him is the cover, isn't it? That's why we love it. That orangey hue, it is breathtaking to look at. Yeah, it's a fine cover, and I would probably just like this in a CGC slabbed up, just for the kind of comic book appreciation of it. The most unusual GI Joe story ever. I mean, there'd only been 20 issues before this, so it's a bold claim. Anything else you'd like to say about the cover?
I do recall, maybe it was on an episode that you were on as well, but Chief got a statue of this.
Yes, abseiling. Yeah,
Yeah.
a big weighty thing. He may still have it, but look, Chief, he sells everything.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's a pretty cover. I'm sure it's a wonderful statue, and I'm sure whoever owns it now is pleased as punch.
Yeah. What about is there an anniversary re-release of this as well?
Multiple.
Multiple.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
They even, I think, did a hardbound collection of it with the original pencils, maybe.
Right.
There have been fill-in stories. So the backstory of issue 21, a sort of a issue 20 and a half, has been produced. You don't need it, honestly. I don't think it adds anything of note. This has been well treaded ground for GI Joe.
Yeah. I'm just looking at my notes, but that's basically it for the cover. So what should we do? Should we literally just go through this sucker page by page? Do you want to talk a little bit about why this issue is the way it is? And why Larry...
I'm sure any G.I. Joe fan worth their salt know the story, Ben. But in order to alleviate a deadline crunch, Larry, he decided, hey, if I pencil the issue and we drop all lettering, I kick it over to my buddy Steve Lealoha to finish my pencils. It gets inked, it gets colored, and it's out the door. So this was just to beat a deadline crunch.
Now,
I didn't think it was that revolutionary at the time. I mean, he always has said that comic book medium is a visual medium. So this was proof of concept that you could tell a cogent story, an intelligent story, a very satisfying story, a one-shot story without any words.
But S-Jubs, is this not a tale as old as time? That classic innovation happens when you have got your back up against the wall and you have constraints, and that's when you can sometimes get this raw creativity. Whereas when you have all the time in the world and all the colors in the crown box and no limitations, and you create crap. But this, diamonds are forged under pressure. And I really like that there is a kind of reason for why this happened, and it was such a simple reason as like we were, stretched for time this month. And look what happened.
But also, this book is not necessarily a victim of its own hype. Because if it had such a massive sort of buzz around it, and yet the story was middling, I don't think it would be as enduring as it was. I think this story got everyone's attention, and then once it had your attention, it showed you that this book it's worth something. There are adult concerns. There's artistic merit to what is a toy book. Now, I've been reading the Transformers Omnibus, which is a gift from my buddy Rob, a Christmas gift. And the level of sophistication to those early Transformers books just ain't there, man. When I compare it to my book of choice, GI Joe, and yes, I'm biased, GI Joe is a far more sophisticated read, and it holds up. Whereas Transformers was just a toy book, really, honestly.
I tell you
Sorry
what,
to all the Transformers fans out there. And issue 21 of GI Joe makes it plain. Like, this is a mission statement that, like, there's a lot more going on in this run than just your average run-of-the-mill funny book.
Yeah.
Pushing a plastic boy's toy.
I tell you can't say the same for the old 80s Transformers annuals. They are lofty. My God. I do not understand any of it. It is crazy.
Well, that probably would have been all Simon Furman.
But here's a Transformer.
Injecting some good stuff. Anyway, I guess the point I wanted to make was 21 legitimates Joe in the eyes of the world in ways that, other books could only dream of.
Yes. Yeah. And
let's crack this bad boy open.
We're getting firsts, aren't we? This is Storm Shadow's debut appearance.
Storm Shadow's debut, the Claw's debut.
Look
debut
at mine.
Of Silent Castle, a major location in GI Joe lore.
Yeah. But look, I get He-Man advert, and we literally just went on about that.
Boy.
God, I love it when that happens. Look, dude.
Yeah. These are the monogram models.
Yeah.
Were they for use with He-Man figures? I don't think so.
No.
Maybe too small. Maybe someone
way
in the comments
too small.
thought about that.
But you're right. It's a beautiful first page, and already you're like, okay, no boxes here, no descriptions.
It's not uncommon for a GI Joe book to have a splash page opener.
No. But
what we can already glean from this, like the structure of the Silent Castle, is so unique. And while it does have a kind of a symmetry to it, you'll notice that like there are little differences. Like these early detection radar systems are different. They're distinct. You will always know whether you're viewing it from the front or the back.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
it is absolutely gloriously resplendent with like Cobra iconography, the big old Cobra faces, the snake tower.
We never see it in Sunbow, do we?
No, but there's definitely some cross-pollination of ideas. Like plenty of Cobra temples with all these kind of icons there.
But why not just do it? Because that literally looks like a Saturday morning cartoon. I mean, it just looks evil. It's really cool. It actually looks like that would lend itself to a kind of Castle of Grayskull playset, really, quite easily.
Many have dreamed about turning us into a playset, but I don't think plastic would do it justice. It would be way too big.
Yeah, it would be. Well, you'd scale it down.
Yeah, but would that be a satisfying toy?
But also, you're looking at this for the first time. Who do you think is... You can't really see who's on that glider. You can see someone's tied up, bound.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's flick to the next page and find out.
God. Instantly, when you flick to this next page, it doesn't look like any other Joe book you've ever seen, because who's drawing it, S-Jubs?
Mr. G.I. Joe himself, Larry. I mean...
He is amazing! He's amazing.
He really is.
I mean, you feel like it would have been nice to have had a little run, maybe. You know,
boy.
a 20-issue run of... It's too much... Obviously, it's way too much work. It can't be done. But he does have a very unique style. Is there a softness to it?
However you want to describe it, it's right. It is
Yeah.
right. Panel by panel, frame by frame, it just feels like it suits this book and this content.
It's high
I guess it's because
detail.
he inhabited this work and these characters
Yeah.
and everything about the story. He knew how to do the storytelling justice.
Oh, it's so difficult to even... Like, every single panel is a beautiful piece of art. But already, Scarlet, that's the best Scarlet's ever been drawn up until this point. There's almost like a contemporariness to her there. Like, she looks amazing. And the human... Like, Cobra Commander's eyes, I don't know. You can almost see the humanity in him there. I don't know. It's just different. Instantly, it's like, oh wow, this is definitely different from the first 20 issues. And you know, Storm Shadow. My God, he looks amazing. And no Cobra insignia.
Yes, maybe Larry didn't want to necessarily make him a card-carrying member of Cobra. He has a little bit more autonomy at this point. His uniform is more reflective of a kind of a mercenary or Ronin nature. But yeah, maybe it's just a shorthand. He didn't want to keep bothering to illustrate the symbol on his sort of primary antagonist.
My favourite panel on these 2 pages is the vertical Storm Shadow coming in hot one. God, he looks incredible there. And Cobra Commander close up.
Yes. Good.
And just all of it, just the lighting. Yeah. I mean, you are someone that has said the story holds you and you do like the text and the writing of comic books. So to have that taken away, how do you feel about no bubbles, no boxes?
It forces you to appreciate all the other stuff that's going on in a book.
Yeah, you have to look harder, don't you? You definitely do.
Bubbles can get in the way. Artwork can sometimes not really adequately have a space for word balloons. Like, if we had to have word balloons on these pages, they wouldn't be able to crop in so tight. There'd have to be a bit more air around the subjects.
Yes. Now we're getting to it.
I love the framing of everyone. Everyone is framed correctly because you don't have to have subtitles. You know how you're watching a movie and the subtitles kind of get in the way?
But because there's no bubbles, texts, fonts, I feel like there's more kind of like that. Everything's a little bit heightened and maybe not more serious, or like you're taking it more seriously, but it's just a lot more artistic, and you're like, oh my God, yeah, these are actually like really lovely drawings. You just feel very differently about the whole thing.
Wow.
Because you sort of, I feel like you take them more, but what I mean is it's like a little bit more like highfalutin, you know? It's like, oh, this is an artsy book.
A lookbook.
Yeah, whereas if you slap bubbles, does it cheapen it? Don't know.
Maybe once the penciler is finished with his pages, they always look like this. The layouts are always very artistic, very good. And then you have to do the necessary scripting over the top of it. And that's somewhat diminishing the art.
But this is definitely a book that, exactly like what you were saying, where it is genuinely worth all of the hype. It's actually like an amazing issue. Like, you know, when you go and see something that's got so much hype, it could be a building or something, and you're like, didn't live up to it. But I just turned the page, and it just gets better.
The C-130 in the moonlight.
The pinky interior of the night drop. Oh.
I learned that you have a red lamp in order to preserve your own natural night vision.
This guy doesn't ruin it. Look at these. Yeah. What do we do? What's that? A halo jump? What do you call that? It's a low drop.
Lay-low jump.
Halo jump.
Well, low altitude, low opening is what he's doing essentially.
Yeah.
Like he's not free falling very far at all. Okay, look, the C-130 looks like it's about 1,000 feet above the Silent Castle. Yeah, that's pretty low.
And also, you are not. There's no cockpit shot there. It's just Snake Eyes' moment. That is, I mean, he might not have had a more badass moment as he's stood at the back there.
There's no one else inside the C-130 cargo bay. So
No.
maybe this is a very unsanctioned mission. Basically him, a pilot, a co-pilot, and that's it.
Yeah.
This is something I've got to do, guys. You can either help me or you can sit this one out, but I'm going.
Now, as we move through the issue, is Storm Shadow, is he roughing Scarlet up here? Not really, but she does give him a bite on his thumb.
This is a moment of some controversy or contention.
Yes, go for it.
Well, I'm taking a leaf from your book, sir, on Talking Joe back in the day when you and Chief discussed whether or not Storm Shadow is making some kind of, I don't know, like inappropriate motion towards her, like, I don't know, stroking her cheek, touching his finger to her lip, or is he just saying, "Hey, watch out, my girl, I've got you now"?
Well, I think that is what he's doing, and that's scary and weird, but kind of like what villains used to do to females, you know? That hair stroke, that's kind of a trope, really.
Is it incongruous with our understanding of who Storm Shadow actually is?
No, not really. No. Okay. This is a one-off, isn't it, for him? He hasn't been fleshed out yet, so I don't have any issue with Larry introducing a character that he doesn't quite know where he's going to take him yet.
Larry's big reticence with Storm Shadow and positing him as the baddie ninja at the outset was, this is your first Asian character, or character of Asian descent anyway. It turns out he's actually from California. But Larry didn't want to make the first character of Asian descent an irredeemable baddie. So there was always the master plan, so he says, of making Storm Shadow, this kind of controversial figure, or this troubled warrior who ultimately finds his way back to the good side.
And so he does.
Like this, when he's threatening Scarlet and there's real danger, he's
hey,
a
but
dude,
you could be
in this presentation.
That doesn't mean you have to have lived a life of every single moment. You can look at what Storm Shadow does and say, see, he was always good at heart.
Yeah.
There's darkness in us all, and he's having a little moment of darkness there. He might be in too deep, S-Jubs. That happens.
Sure. And who is Scarlet to him anyway, other than just a target who can curry favor with Cobra Commander, high value target.
Love the way Larry draws Scarlet. I'm going to turn the page. Every single page is incredible, by the way. Wow. Destro close up you see his eyes. Oh, it's so good.
Larry's got a great handle on who these characters are.
Yeah, well, but better than anyone. That is how Destro should look. As drawn and written by the creator. Yeah, he's big on eyes, Larry. There's a man in there.
Yes.
And we do, look, dude, we're getting text. We are getting text.
I was wondering if you're going to call attention to it. Yes, absolutely. Factors on the computer screen: altitude of intruder aircraft, high wind velocity, darkness, lack of landing zones. And then the computer does a calculation. Probability successful airborne insertion, 0.000018. Did I get enough?
Look,
Oh my goodness, that is minuscule.
if I was going to have a panel of this book, or maybe a sketch of a panel from this book, it would be the one of Snake Eyes with the chute coming in, and it's not necessarily like any other panel. Look at how scratchy it is and has this kind of rough, sketched look to his outlines. It's so lovely. Do you like that panel? Because I love that panel.
Very artfully done. Like
Very.
You realize that the inks are not perfect, and that's by design.
Yeah,
purely blacked out page.
I just got a massive load of mango on the back. Damn it! That's okay.
Dry your eyes, mate. Enjoy.
Yeah, you don't care. I'm talking to the right person with that stuff. Yeah, the scale of everything here.
They've not inked out the page completely.
No.
Like, you're left with evidence that this is a white page that has been inked on by a human hand.
Yeah,
Nice.
You know, the 2026 kids would call that the gritty filter on Instagram. You know, it's it's got hair. You know, almost looks like a projector. It's got scratches and things, but he does a great job of, you can't see the castle, but you can get a sense of the scale because the size of the cobra statue that he's landing on, and that is that model or whatever Chief's got. He's coming, you know, he's abseiling down from that. Yeah, but you know, a lot of anticipation here.
Just getting back to the scratchiness, though, do you like it? Because I remember not liking it.
Oh, see, I love it, but what I'm also saying is, it's not necessarily replicated in every single panel.
Yes, they go down to that dot gain kind of purple for the sky.
Christ, it's hard. I'm getting ahead of myself, but there really is not a bad panel in this whole book. So if we go over, we get these. You're so right about saying, like, yeah, there isn't space for text, and that's why he can punch in. Like, look at Scarlet picking that lock. It's so punched in. Even, yeah, it's an unusual panel. You're not going to have that panel of her holding up the hair clip, I don't think, with bubbles and text.
What you would have happening is a character monologuing her own escape.
Yes.
If you had text. And that is always going to be the wrong choice. But a scripter or letterer need to earn their pay, I guess. I mean, I wish there was more restraint in books that did have word balloons. You know, when a unit is moving through the long grass, you know, on an infiltration mission, they don't need to be whispering, okay, Beachhead has point. Flint, you take up drag. Like, no. The military unit knows where they are in this formation. Just
but
like
you
Scarlet
may
knows
be
exactly what she's doing. She doesn't need to be saying, oh, trying to find my holdout hair clip. Got it. Okay, now I'm going to put it in the lock.
But S-Jubs, those are the codes and conventions of comic books, my man.
Boo to that, my man.
That is and this is what we're having a kind of creative break from. Yeah. But my God, Larry loves a close-up. And what I like here with these bottom panels of Snake Eyes coming down is, you know, he is almost invisible there. And it's kind of hard to see him. It's like, wow, but the Cobra Trooper, that perspective is just perfect.
The worm's eye view.
Yeah, the way that he's swinging in on the first panel, you can barely see him. But my God, it works. Also, I am the kind of person that is doing a lot of sound effects in my head. Like, you know, when he's coming down in the chute, all I've got is that kind of fabric and wind and
flapping.
You know, I am definitely getting a lot of that. Now, what's Destro doing here with this chessboard? He's got one of your favourites on there. Well, not on the board. He's got him knocked off the board. But he's got Quinn.
Well,
What's
if
he
you
postulating?
are to observe continuity ever so slightly at this point in GI Joe history, these are characters that are effectively deceased. So we believe. Quinn, Scarface, Baroness.
Yeah.
As far as Destra is concerned, she's dead.
Oh my goodness. I'm on the next panel already. This is interesting because we don't usually do this because we usually just, we kind of talk about it, but it has been a while since I've spent any time with this book, and I have to say I did forget how beautiful it is and how amazing Larry Hama is at, on pencils.
Storm Shadow has had a wardrobe change.
He has. There it is.
He's
Look.
now in his sort of accurate to his figure costume in all but one respect. The figure, strangely enough, had like short sleeves, whereas Storm Shadow is depicted in cartoon and comic book as having cutoffs.
Yeah. Well, I very much like how he is here.
Oh, yeah. And the Cobra symbol is present, so I guess he got handed a more sort of respectable Cobra uniform. Like, you are in the Silent Castle, you're in Cobra's inner sanctum, you wear this, you put it on. You've proven yourself to the commander.
It's difficult, growing up and loving GI Joe. Kind of difficult to have first memories of someone as iconic as Storm Shadow, and even as you're looking at him here, it's still, you have to remind yourself, this would have been the first time ever seeing this cool guy. Can you imagine how obsessed you would have been, and how you would have been like, I literally need that action figure right now. He has. He's got pure Boba Fett vibes going. He's got the ultimate cool factor. The design of him is amazing.
Yeah, an ultimate expression of the ninja fanaticism of the 70s and 80s.
And he had to be a bad guy for me at the beginning. You have to make him a bad. He's such a good Cobra bad guy. He's scary.
I speak for both of us that this wasn't our first introduction to Storm Shadow. Couldn't have been.
No, my God.
When did you get 21 for the first time?
Oh, Chief would have told me about 21. I wouldn't have. This is me getting 21 for the first time. So,
well, did Chief have an Action Force reprint of 21?
No. But he would have. I don't remember the first time looking at it, but it would have been around. It would have probably been early 90s, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know if Chief had it in his bundle. I think he did. I think I remember him sitting me and Gav down and explaining it to us, possibly. But it was always difficult. Yeah, I absolutely. Storm Shadow was one of my kind of first things I understood about the world of GI Joe. He was just such a good villain, and it took me ages to get the action figure. He was difficult to get. But
I feel like it must have seen reprint in the sort of Action Force floppy.
Oh, I'm sure someone will tell us in the comments if that's the case.
I mean, I definitely have the Snake Eyes origin story.
Okay. Oh, I love that. I love that cover. There he is.
Who is Snake Eyes?
Well, look, back to Silent Interlude.
Back to the rooftop.
Scarlet. Oh, no, sorry. Where are we? Have I skipped forward?
You want to back it up? Scarlet escapes.
Yeah.
Very proficient. She turns out doesn't need Snake Eyes' help. I mean, just in case people are going to lambast this issue as oh, here comes big bad Snake Eyes coming to the rescue. Guess what? Scarlet does a pretty damn proficient job of getting out herself. No thanks to the man. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you think of these night vision Cobra blue shirt goggles? I think they are so cool. I would have loved a version of that, just on what
cool,
give it. I guess
convenience.
You do guard duty. You got to wear those.
Yep,
if you're outside.
Great foreshadowing, because Snake Eyes is going to don those goggles to help his disguise.
Blue shirts with red face scarves
should have been presented that way way back in 1982.
They really should have, shouldn't they?
They needed that extra pop.
What's going on there? I think it works better. It works so much better on the page.
Yeah.
I think it looks so cool.
Well, the cartoon observed that as well. It's just a case of, a better color pop. Or am I misremembering? Did the cartoon Cobra blue shirts have... No.
I don't think they did.
Wow, so it is a comic book exclusive design look. That and the yellow bandoliers and web gear. It's great.
Yes, yeah. Now, what Snake Eyes goes in first with throwing knives.
Yeah, the silent kill. And manages to get these two without them getting a shot off. So he's just lightning fast. I mean, in fact, he just becomes speed lines. He's not fully inked.
Look, we get a fantastic Spielberg moment of him launching a blue shirt off the tower, and it just so happens to go past Destro's office where he's got the chess pieces. It's a fantastic shot. And then Destro calls to action. He's leading a whole platoon of blue shirts there. Follow me.
Perfect.
I get my this is the center of the book, and I've got a double page spread.
Oh, I wish I could replicate
now
that.
Your computer fits the original arcade hits Defender. There we go.
Pac-Man, Donkey Kong. Nice.
Yeah, but here we go. What's going on here? Yeah, so Snake Eyes goes full disguise now. Clever move. Probably was always going to be necessary, yeah? As in, this is part of his plan. Or do you think that he's on the fly here?
Yeah, I think first prize would have been taking out those blue shirts without anybody noticing.
Okay.
But since one of them sails down and no doubt, as you say, screamed all the way to the bottom, he had to do some improvisation. Always astounding to me how you can put on an entire uniform, boots, knee pads, web gear, helmet, scarf, et al.
You should have done it in the phone booth like Clark Kent.
Well, let's face it, the Silent Castle, it's not massive. It's not got a,
do you not think?
Acreage to it.
Right.
This is quite a tight battlement.
Okay.
So it wouldn't take too long for these guys to climb up a couple of flights of steps to get to the roof.
Look.
To get to the top battlement.
S-Jobs, this isn't just the debut of Storm Shadow. This is also the debut of Red Ninjas.
Oh, there they are.
And we get a nice kind of... What's he doing here? What's this business? What's this?
Finger knitting, I guess. I don't know.
Just he's in it.
This is the actual term. I guess it's a silent way of him signaling them.
Again, it's a sketch at best. There's some yellow in there, but it's beautiful. Larry drawing the heck out of Storm Shadow. But what are you thinking here? You're like, oh my god, red ninjas. Okay, there's more ninjas.
Do they just hang off the pipes like that, waiting all day? They're like bats.
Where's the figures, man? Where's the figs? It's issue 21. It's 1983. It's not as if they had, just a plethora of toys they could have made. You would have felt like they would have done every character going. I'm sure there would have been conversations. I know what would have happened. I reckon, do you think they were like, it's too martial arts, but too many ninjas. This is a war book. Do you reckon that was said?
About releasing them as action figures specifically?
Yeah.
Perhaps. I mean, every character by 1984 had their thing. And it would have been a duplication if you'd had the white ninja and the red ninja being sold, in competition with one another, essentially.
Yeah.
So Storm Shadow was the one and only at that point. I mean, it's true to say that not even Snake Eyes was considered a ninja back then.
Not really, no. He was considered
No.
like a
Commando.
badass military commando dude.
But the point is, like, each action figure had a distinct flavor. There weren't two ninjas. There was no duplication yet.
What do you think about the weapon choice of the dude on the far right there? What is that a sickle? What sickle? What is that? It's like what you do with hay.
Yeah, a threshing tool.
What?
Well, look, my buddy Paul from GI Joburg will be quick to note that martial art or ninja weapons specifically were improvised weapons. They used tools. They used sharpened piece of metal. Anything that was easily concealed or easily kind of explained away as like farming implements. Ninja worked clandestinely.
I just think you wouldn't want to get torn apart by that guy specifically because his other weapon is like a ball and chain.
What do they call that? A morning star? What is that?
I don't know. It's awful though. Bludgeoned. And then the other guy's got Raphael's size, but they're like really long. And the other dude just has
really
a sword.
Rounded, like
they'd hurt going in.
A
Blunt.
limitation perhaps of the design or maybe the pencils or the printing, like you couldn't really get a sharp point to work on a page.
Yeah,
Maybe.
you could be right. But moving on, we've got a couple of blue shirts they've obviously found the glider. And they're kind of having that sort of Death Star moment. They're marching down that corridor. And Scarlet's doing well with the chain so far.
Yeah.
And she does very well to get them simultaneously.
Not only are they being strangled by the chain, but then she clunks their heads together.
Come on,
Of
we know
course,
we're
their
here for
body
that.
hats fall off. Clearly, Cobra Troopers are just as bad at putting chin straps on as like your typical like Telly Savalas or Clint Eastwood in Kelly's Heroes. Ain't nobody putting their chin straps on.
I like the kind of no meat on the bone kind of efficiency of the heads have been clonked together and then boom, the story's moving on, she's in it flying and she's got that kind of smile or that expression. It's pure comic book stuff.
Oh, it's glorious. The story could have been over very efficiently if we lost Snake Eyes altogether.
Well, Snake Eyes, he's standing over the kind of the man cover, and interesting perspective shot of these red ninjas are always hanging from somewhere, like vampires. They've obviously got, I don't know.
Michael Keaton in Batman. Oh, they sleep upside down. They do everything upside down. They attack.
But good improvisation from Snake Eyes, because he's not scared to kind of Roger Moore it and just pick up that manhole cover. And
he didn't come with a
him.
katana at this point. He had no blade of his own.
Yeah, what do you think about the last panel? Is that him essentially caving in his skull with another blow?
So there are two interpretations, naturally. One, the Red Ninja went all the way into the, what's it called? The umlaut.
Oh, and he's put it back.
Into the hole. And he's putting the cover back on. Or I would say, yeah, lethal force. You don't want to you don't want this guy coming back and getting you from behind. So crush his skull immediately.
Well, look, we find out in the next panel.
Yes, we do.
He's been done in, but I tell you what, you know how you sort of say that figure is quite plain. Oh man, he looks good in that far right panel where you get the reflection in his goggles. That is a really nice close-up of Snake Eyes. Minimal, but still something going on in there. I mean, you cannot see his face, but you feel something when you look at that image, I think.
The original figure's credit, it does have those breathing holes sculpted.
Yes, yeah.
It's always been a tasty little detail. But it does make him look kind of cat-like.
You know, he has been... Look, I'm serious. He's been burning some K-cows. You know, he he can't not sweat. He's breathing. It's got to be uncomfortable under that thing. And I reckon those goggles are misted up to the max. Anyway, but like you said, he's not full ninja right now. And he just gets a hand grenade out. Goes commando on his ass.
Don't bring a sigh to a hand grenade fight, I guess.
Yeah, look at...
It's a lovely moment of like...
I kind of like the panic of like trying to sort of like get them away, because I feel like you probably would do that. What you should actually do is drop the size and like catch it and lob it. But in the panic, he's just confused. And yeah, that is just great. You see the blast and you just see the two size. And he is just red mist. He's not red ninja, he's red mist.
I've never thought about this before, but do you feel like the 3 vertical panels are in the wrong sequence? Shouldn't it go establishing shot red ninja?
Yours are in the... But I was about to mention that. All of your panels are weird to me. They're all mirrored.
Oh no, is my page fucked?
Yeah, no, all of your panel... I wasn't saying anything because I thought, I think it's just the mirror.
Bizarre.
Yeah, that's what I mean, because I was like, this doesn't make sense.
What is going on?
I was like, no wonder you're saying that, because I was like, well, yeah.
Okay, so just page 17, I've got a mirror image. Okay, never mind. I
Yeah.
take that back, dear listener. The storytelling is perfect.
Yeah, I was
Don't knock issue 21.
Yeah, the devastation that the grenade leaves behind, you can only imagine what it did to that ninja. Yeah. Oof. But look, there's our guy again with all the weapons, and Snake Eyes just holds out his hand and just sort of Arnie just takes it. Just takes it, the ball.
That seems a little far-fetched now that I think of it, because of course you're interpreting his hand kind of magically missing all of the spikes of that ball, so he's just caught it maybe with splayed fingers. But no, the way it's pictured, 1 or 2 of those spikes have gone directly into his palm. Sure.
No, but I'm saying, look at the velocity of how he's spinning it in the doorway shot. That is going... That is solid steel. That is taking your wrist off, dude.
Shatter every bone in your...
Yeah. Not good. But look, he's Snake Eyes and he can do whatever the heck he wants.
Hell yeah.
I've always thought there's a move he does here that is just like one of the moves that the player I used to play as in Virtual Fighter, Kao Lu, I think he was a villain. I don't know how well you know that game, but when your opponent was down, you could do like a stomp, and it's rigid and it just looks lethal. And Snake Eyes does it. Storm Shadow right there. Straight-legged. It's unusual.
Well, maximum force. He jumps very high and comes down on Storm Shadow's head. Yeah. These guys are superhuman in their resilience, that's for sure.
We are getting some of my favorite panels coming up. Scarlet.
But, I mean, the variation in weapon choices for the Red Ninja allow for such creative choreography. This is Larry showing off that not only artist, editor, comic book writer, musician, but also martial artist. He knows this stuff.
Yeah. I feel like Storm Shadow is going to be doing better without that Red Ninja in the way, if you ask me.
Yeah. I mean, he literally gets in the way. He's a human shield for Storm Shadow's lethal cut.
But look, next page, we get these kind of, the way he draws light. Look at the Scarlet panel there, bottom left. Oh, it's so good.
Down to the wire.
That is, again, it's like, you could have that in the tape, man. That is classic comic art. And what is that style? This shimmering shadow. He's drawing these lines that kind of evoke light. It's a good page.
It's a beautiful page. Yeah, nothing quite as blinding as a pure white page. Using
Yeah,
the
I
effect of
suppose.
the
Well,
uninked, uncolored page
yeah,
paper.
first we get well, Storm Shadow kind of looks like he's exhausted in that top
Yeah.
one. He's kind of hanging off the door, coming in, and we get that lovely long shadow with the lines.
Well, how would you feel if you just got stomped by two boots from
Yeah,
a jumping Snake Eyes? Like,
I tell you what,
yeah,
you
he's
really
haggard, man.
you feel the thrust of that glider, don't you? As
She's
Scarlet,
coming down,
yeah. Wow, you
and
feel the
she's
velocity
wincing.
of it.
Scarlet's face is very telling in that moment. Like, she's wincing because she has made the decision to sacrifice herself.
Yes,
Yeah. There's a
yeah,
pain in that expression. She knows what's coming. She's
yeah,
about to put herself between this villainous ninja and the man she loves.
but also I feel like that thing is roaring and she's coming down fast. The whole situation, she's just like, "Argh!" And
She's very good at piloting a claw, let me tell you.
look, I do love this. He's kind of out of options, choices. He only has his sword, and he kind of holds it like a javelin. He doesn't do one of those kind of like he throws it like a dart. And it's the fact that you get his eyes after. What's he thinking here? He's longing for it to get someone. And what does Snake Eyes do? Pancakes it, man.
Oh, chop socky bullshit. Martial arts movie cliche.
But look at the
Catch and
wonder. Scarlett's got all different facial expressions on those three panels, but there's a kind of, I can't believe he just did that moment.
It is a comic book, so we'll forgive it. But like, she's happy way too soon. Like the stay of execution face, that emotion comes much later. It should still be like hard wince. But yeah, she notices that the blade has been caught,
Yeah.
perhaps millimeters from her throat, and
And then all that's left is the reveal of the Arashikage tattoos.
perfection.
Linking these two, and one of my, probably in my top 3 favorite panels, is everything that his posture and that stance evokes of Storm Shadow there. Every villain has that moment where they're watching their prey get away, kind of thing, What's he thinking there? Is there a little bit of respect in there? Is there I don't know. It's an interesting one.
Now, it's pretty evident that Snake Eyes that Storm Shadow didn't clock Snake Eyes' Arashikage tattoo.
No.
I think Snake Eyes clocked Storm Shadow's.
Well,
Do these two
his
fighters
wrappings
know who the other is? Could they have
Not-
recognized each other by their fighting style?
It's possible, but his wrists, feels like they're coming down at that very end bit. When they're scrapping. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, visual cue aside, is it not possible that these two men who trained together, who fought side by side in Vietnam together, who were friends until tragedy struck, that they could not have recognized each other just by body language, by mannerisms, by
But
fighting styles?
as you've pointed out, some of the fighting is so unorthodox and not out of like choice that it might not be so recognizable. Maybe more that I would feel like Storm Shadow is going to recognize Snake Eyes.
Oh, I would have gone the other way.
Okay.
Because there's nothing remarkable about the way Storm Shadow is being dressed. Like in the Arashikage dojo, I'm sure they wore stuff like this all the time. Whereas Snake Eyes has had a radical overhaul of his look. Post burn victim, yeah, he has gone all black. He has gone completely skinless.
What's great is that they wouldn't have been able to resist putting in a few, if this was a later in the run, it's kind of like that moment that I like in the issue where Snake Eyes, who does he catch off the burning building? Baroness. And then you get 2 pages of flashing back before you come back to them, breaking up the vibe. You feel like we're lucky that we don't get that here, where they do start remembering and he's trying to put it all in. And
it's nice that this issue unfolded as it did, as organically as it did, because maybe in hindsight they would have had some recollection or at least a moment of hesitation. But at the same time, you're right in pointing out that the combat is so kinetic and improvised.
And how much time? What's their actual real time exposure to each other? Minutes.
True.
It's minutes.
Snake Eyes
and
did not anticipate a ninja battle here.
No.
He didn't pack a sword. He didn't pack martial arts weapons. This is a complete surprise to him. He's having to kind of reset his understanding of what Cobra is and what their modus operandi is if they've got access to guys as dangerous as Storm Shadow with the means at their disposal. So it's a big learning experience for him, this deep infiltration mission.
Yeah, he is. If he does know, he is. Go back to the last panel of Snake Eyes there then. Yeah, I mean, it's more really a Scarlet panel, isn't it? I mean, and then you get his little tear. Interesting.
Not enough for them to realize, I guess. So they part ways, none the wiser. But I'd like to think that in Storm Shadow's head at that point, he's like, who the hell was that guy?
Yeah. Oh,
He's
man,
got
I'm
some
so...
moves, man, he reminds me of a presence I've not felt since.
Oh, yeah. You're on the Death Star docking bay.
Big time.
Big time I am. I'm so glad we got to sit down and do that issue page by page, blow by blow. That was fun.
What a treat.
It really was. Look, I got it. It was a big get, and it has been logged in the Chasing Joe vaults. And look, next week we just move on. That is the show, my man. That's
I hope
just how it
everyone
goes.
watching this, listening to this, has access to an issue 21. Give it another look. It's always going to be worth your time. Every time I look at it, something new comes to the surface, just like this discussion today.
I'm going to fire up the digital version of this after this and just have a look at the colors and the images and see how they kind of side by side. Like when you really like zoom in, what do you call it? The paper, the dot.
The dot gain, I think.
Yes. Oh, it's so present on the cover. I mean, it's joyous. I feel so lucky to have got it for a mere $40. Man, I did well. It was a big get, and it feels, I don't know, got it in America. It's pricey meatball in the UK. I'm surprised 2026 that you haven't wanted this in your hands, in hand. As pride of your collection.
I came close to buying a reprint.
Okay.
But then I thought to myself, why would I bother with a reprint?
Yeah.
If I'm going to get it, I'm going to get, an original.
Yeah.
Or at least a reprint of the one from back in the day.
Yes.
And I haven't bothered to look. As I say, typically my modus operandi is when the book comes into my crosshairs, I'll consider it.
Yes.
If on my journey this thing came into my path, I would, perhaps not balk at the price and just pay the man. But it hasn't, so I haven't.
There you go. And that is the story of S. Jubs in 21. He does not have it yet.
It's always close to hand. I can reach out and grab a copy or a reprint, a collector's.
Well, look, don't read the version you just read today. The panels are in the wrong order and all sorts is going on. There's,
Okay, it wouldn't be in volume 2. It's in volume 3 of the IDW or Marvel reprints.
Yeah.
And of course, it would be in the most recent omnibus with that beautiful newsprint paper.
I would love to marinate in the issue 21 A-Ra stew all afternoon, but I am stinking this office up to high heaven.
Smell you
Because
from out, dude.
I am. That's why I didn't smell the book, because I smell so bad that it would just be me. I'd be like, this book smells of man sweat. Look, we will be back next week. Log issue 21 in the vaults of Chasing Joe. We've put our hats in the ring. I hope you enjoyed it. We will see you next week.
Yo, Joe, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Silence, S-Jobs. Just let the art speak for itself.